that I have is to help 1 million people, because through the enrollment in our programs, we give to others, we feed. In fact, locally, we've done some things here. And nobody will ever know if we hit 1 million entrepreneurs and hit 1 million people that are fed, clothed, warm hug, warm food, and warm clothing. That's what we like doing, and that's our strategy for the future. I'll never know if we hit it, but it's a legacy that's so big that it's got to be empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And I would throw that out there, that you just got to be relentless and go after those passions and purposes and work with people that you love.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Well, yeah, wow. I didn't expect, I didn't know how I was gonna go, and I just knew that you're a great person, from the time that I met you, and definitely, I'd love to chat more, maybe on another podcast, where, it'd be a little bit more extended, and to dive deeper into some of those personal moments, where, to take people through that journey. And I think what you gave here is tremendous, like huge. I think we just put up the QR code there.
QR might have been there, or the gift slide might have been there.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Right there. So yeah, you definitely take advantage,
scan
guys.
that, or if you hit that page, or empoweredentrepreneur.ca/billions, you'll see the Billions gifts right there on the page.
Awesome. Well, everybody give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. Well, I'm kind of speechless. But I will. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna do another and a little bit. Actually, what time is it right now? Let me just get the time. Somebody have the time? 6:56. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do one more trick here. Actually, magic, an illusion. But this one will require 2 people. I'm gonna need 2 people. Okay, maybe we can pick. Okay, we got my friend here, Brian. Yes, give him a round of applause. Woo! And maybe we can get who else? We gotta pick somebody from the guy. Okay, Tita Jem. Yes, I'm Filipino, so we have Tita and Tito. So Tita's aunt. And Brian, you're not Filipino, right?
No, not that I know of.
Sorry, sorry, introduce yourself.
My name's Brian, and I'm not Filipino. Not yet.
And he's also one of our featured speakers, so I didn't want to make it anticlimactic, but so hang on a second here. All right, I know, sorry if you're scared. All right, give her a round of applause. She needs some encouragement. Yeah. And your Jemima, beautiful name. So Jemima, I'm gonna we're gonna put this here. Actually, can you hold the mic for me? Okay, yeah. So we're gonna take this is a fresh deck of cards here. Okay, I want to make sure that it's fresh. Okay. And this is a different deck of cards, but it is still normal. And my friend designed this deck of cards as like skateboard type of people on it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So let me just do this. So I'm just gonna take out. Actually, you know what? You could just. It's okay. You could just take any card you want. Right. Yeah, face up. It's okay. Yeah, it's a Joker. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's hang on. Let's take out the Joker so it's not. Okay. Let's do it differently. All right. Show the crowd, please. I mean, I can see it. Doesn't matter if I see it. Okay, you guys.
Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds. Okay. Brian looks like a good position. And I want you to sign the card on one side of the card. Okay, and then Jemima, I want you to sign the card on the other side. Okay. Oh no, sorry. I mean on the yeah, right here. Yeah. And I want make sure everybody sees the. Okay, can everybody see? Okay, awesome. Can you cap that? Can you cap that, please? Okay, so you guys can you guys see the signed card here?
Yes.
Now there's no way possible I can duplicate this, okay? Unless someone was a real magician. Okay? So we're gonna take that card, Ace of Diamonds, and Brian, I want germs or anything, but bite down on it so there's no way I can get it. This is a fresh deck of cards. That's why I said fresh deck. Okay, so now he can't speak.
Just
So
keep it like that?
Yeah, just keep it like that. Here, Joe. I'm gonna sign. This is the 2 of diamonds here. 2 of diamonds. I'm gonna sign it. Okay, you guys can see. So now there's no way I can duplicate it. Okay, yeah, just keep it like that. How about we go to sit like a little bit center here, like where the chairs are. So we're gonna take the 2. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you to do something the same. So we're gonna take it, put it like down. Okay. So one of the things I like about magic is I want you to hold one hand each. Okay. Okay. Yeah, one hand each. Yeah. Okay. Now the cool thing I like about magic, or illusions, is the power to connect people, right? And that's also one of my missions too, is to get people connected, okay, in a way where there's a synergistic effect to help each other out, right? So here, you guys are helping me out and helping each other out here, okay? You guys both signed a card, it's in your mouth, okay? And I signed a card, it's in her mouth, okay? Now I want you to, one of the ways that we all connect as humans is also through our thoughts. I know, sorry. So I want you to imagine that your card and your card are switching, okay? Imagine it going through your hand, through his hand, into his mouth, and then you're going into your mouth, okay? Now I know this is really, really weird, okay? But when your thoughts, sometimes I don't know if you've experienced this, you're thinking about someone, and then boom, they call you, right? That's happened to me many times, right? So this is the power of our thoughts. Check this out. You signed the card, right? It was the Ace of Diamonds, right? Oh, take it off. Okay, and I'll show your card. Okay. All right, check that out. Show everyone. Now he has the 2 of Diamonds. And look, take out your card. I know, sorry. And it's your signed card in your mouth. Give them a round of applause. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Brian, we'll bring you up in a sec. So, thank you guys. Give them a round of applause. Woo! Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, we voted for somebody to come up on stage. There's a gentleman here who has a really big vision for an idea that he wants support with. So before I do that, I'm also actually while you do this, I'm gonna go to the back. I think I don't know. Are you there? Okay, you remember the USB? Yeah, the USB that I gave you. Okay. Do you want the video to be played? Sure. Okay, so we're gonna play his video. His name is Jonathan, right? And he actually came up here earlier to do the first magic trick. So, and what's the name of what you're building?
It's called One Universe.
It's called One Universe. Okay, so he has a big vision for this, and this is a video to basically highlight what he's putting together. So, please roll the video.
Humanity and our planet are at the precipice. War, climate change, and inequality. No matter our ancestry or the color of our skin, we all share the desire for a better future. A future that sees reconciliation between races and nations, where peace prevails over conflict. A future where the value of charity and helping one another is worth more than the value of celebrity. A future where the oceans don't rise to consume our cities, where the air we breathe doesn't hurt our lungs, and where clean water isn't just a luxury for a fortunate few. The challenges we face are formidable, but there is also hope in the midst of the chaos. We are called to something greater, to a light that shines in the present darkness. In truth, this is the great Spirit who craves from the good, who seeks to grow in us the fruit of love and joy, peace and patience, kindness and goodness, faithful hearts, gentle ways, and self-control. We are entering an age where we are extending our reach into space, and where with science we are gaining insights into the potential for life on planets light years away. In this light, the Creator is ever present, part of a grand design which will go hand in hand with the transformation of our world. A Imagine a world where all of humanity is reconciled to this light, where we strive to do unto others as we would like others to do to us, and where we respect and care for Mother Earth. Let us be agents of peace, where our actions can have a positive impact, not just here on Earth, but can also reverberate through the entire cosmos, as all things in the spirit world above and on our Earth below come together and find their full meaning and original purpose in the Chosen One. For we are one humanity, and we are one universe.
All right, so everybody welcome Jonathan to the stage. Back on stage. he's gonna share his magic with us. That's awesome. There you go, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, everyone. Hello, everyone here and online. I'm here to tell you how together we can remake our world. Star Tribe Media is creating a multi-platform social impact entertainment franchise that will inspire hope and empathy globally towards a more sustainable, equitable, and peaceful future for humanity. In partnership with one of the world's leading immersive content studios, our One Universe experience is an epic journey of sight, sound, and emotion about how one individual's journey can inspire us to rise to our better selves, reconciled to our Creator, to the values of loving our neighbors, respecting our planet, and how love can unite and restore all that is seen, but also all that is unseen. We have a stellar team that we put together. It includes one of the veteran story world creators from Cirque du Soleil, who also worked with James Cameron. One of Canada's leaders in artificial intelligence-enabled animation, and an Indigenous filmmaker who's worked with NASA. We have a diversified business model that includes revenues from ticket sales, content licensing fees, merchandise sales, and responsible corporate partnerships, as well as carbon negative blockchain revenues. Currently, we're doing an investment round which will move forward our initial showcase experience to realization, and that will be supported by substantial non-dilutive grant funding, both corporately and from governments. So this is a project where 10 years from now, those who are involved will look back and they'll see that we actually made a fundamental difference in this world. And one of the ways that we do that is matching our revenue and our profits with giving back. And we do this through Indigenous and non-Indigenous improvement projects. We do it through funding global reforestation and water preservation. And we do it through humanitarian missions that will make fundamental differences in the day-to-day lives of the citizens of this planet. So I invite you to go to startribemedia.com, sign up for updates, reach out to us. Happy to have you part of this journey, and happy to be here to talk to you more. Anyone in the audience who's interested. And you know, I also believe in the power of connections. I think this is a common theme probably today that we'll see. And the ability of great minds to come together to really solve the issues of our time, because that's really what we need to do. Humanity needs projects that can help us realize our better nature. And I believe that this is a project which will do that. Thank you so much.
I just want to know, here, did anybody in the audience have any questions for Jonathan at this point, like in regards to what he's doing, or they're curious about it, in terms of, or yeah, anybody have any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Marie.
Yeah, so you said it's an experience that people are. You said it's an experience that people are able to take a look at now. Is it an online experience or is it real life?
It will be, the final product will actually be a live immersive show. And that will also include a component where you can actually participate from anywhere in the world virtually, if you like to, because the future is going to be immersive. And technologies are coming along now which are going to enable incredible experiences. We're seeing this kind of in the early days, but technologies are advancing so rapidly in this area that it's creating real opportunities for engagement. And so whether I'm here or in Shanghai or wherever in Germany or somewhere, I can enjoy the same experience. And that's ultimately the goal and part of bringing people together.
Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
Hey, Jonathan, that's great. I love that you're putting all this together. What stage is the company at now, and where are you going, and what are you looking to raise?
Yeah, so essentially it's been bootstrapped to this day. We have a lot of hard-earned equity also by the folks that have been involved. It's essentially an Indigenous, non-Indigenous partnership that is an equal content balance from both. So it really incorporates their views as well as, I would say, Western views into things, because that's bringing together, I believe, the Indigenous community into this conversation and how we can actually live more sustainably and in harmony with the natural world. I believe is very important. So you there, but we are looking at a first round of $500,000, and that will allow us to produce our first 7-minute showcase experience, which will then lead to the 90-minute production from there.
So, thank you.
Sorry if I missed it. Where will this be broadcasted again? It'll be.
Yeah, so the intention is to have this actually to be able to be participated. If you have actually an Oculus, you can do that, you can see it.
Oh, wow.
Or you can also go to a venue and experience it. So there's a plan to actually have a venue that's actually mobile and is touring. So we can actually take it to different metros, different cities, and different places. Also, it's important that when we do this, that because of the Indigenous contribution, that we have folks there that represent those communities for all of these shows that we're doing. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you. Anybody else in the audience have any questions, or no? Okay. Well, you guys can always comment or ask or find them. Where can they know more about it, or did you already mention that, like in terms of?
Sure. You can just, as of right now, you can go to startribemedia.com.
Star Tribe. How do you spell that?
Star Tribe.
Oh, Star Tribe. Okay.
Yeah. So startribemedia.com.
.com. Okay.
Enter your email and you'll be.
And also, if we select you for the funds, part of the funds raised today, you guys can scan on the QR code. Portion of the funds raised will also go towards Dare to Be Youth, as you guys already know, and also portion will go to a startup founder like yourself. So, guys, if you're watching online or if you're watching right now, you guys can scan and make a contribution on there, and we'll make sure that the startup founder that is chosen, which could be yourself, that basically will collectively pull the funds and help out a visionary founder like yourself. So hopefully it's you, and I'd love it to be you, and I want to thank you for sharing your vision, your dream, and hopefully this inspires others as well to be bold and courageous, and take that leap of faith to actually go out and raise those funds, and start that journey of making your vision becoming a reality. So, any last words you want to say?
I want to just thank you for your time, and again, we're building a movement here. So this is not entertainment, but it's a movement as well. And our goal is to remake the world and do it.
That's amazing. We'll give him a round of applause. All right. Thank you so much. Double mic here now. Okay, so, all right. This will be okay. All right. Let's leave this here. This will be good. All right, so, just here then. All right, so our next speaker, which you preemptly, I don't even know if that's the right word, is on stage doing some magic, holding a card in his mouth. His name is Brian Hogbin. Did I say that right? Yeah. Hogbin. And he's the founder of Mission 35. His mission is to help people become wealthy through investing in real estate and also helping you become mortgage free. And I'm so excited to actually have him here to share his journey to where he's at right now and where he's going, and to share his tips on how to basically create a successful company and to continue to succeed day after day. So everybody give him a round of applause. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put this phone away so it doesn't distract me. Alright, well, thank you, Brian, is it on?
No.
Is it green?
Go ahead again.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. How do
Keep
you
it
like
away from my mouth.
That's good. Well, thanks for making it on the hot seat. And,
that's great. Thanks for having me.
Where do you hail from?
What's that?
Where do you hail from? Where do you come from?
Oh my God, just down the hill, actually. I probably had the shortest distance to get here today, so I think I could have walked here, but
No, we did. We did.
Oh yeah, we did. We lived down the street.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario. I love Hamilton. Big supporter here. We founded our business here, started our business here. And then took a year away. I went to university in Sydney, Australia for a year.
Oh, nice.
Which was a blast, learned a lot, and decided to come back here just because my roots are here. I'm a big family guy, lots of close friends here, and just love the community that is Hamilton.
That's awesome, that's awesome. Well, what kind of I guess I was mentioning it earlier, did you always have that entrepreneurial spirit? Was it through family, or was there a point in your life where I got unplugged? Was there a point in your life where that happened, or was it always in your blood kind of thing?
Yeah, you know what, I think it was always there, but I can remember a couple of times where it really reared its head. I think, I wanted to climb the corporate ladder when I was younger. My very first job was as a bank teller.
Okay.
And that was when I was in high school, and it was as a co-op program. So I got paid $10 a day to be a bank teller. And I thought I was rich. I was like, man, I got 2 credits, I'm getting paid $10 a day, life is good.
That's
right?
awesome.
So then I ended up eventually getting hired. I became a bank teller, and I did customer service representative. I got my mutual funds license. They called them personal banking officers back in the day. And I thought, hey, maybe I can climb this corporate ladder, and I thought maybe I could move to Toronto, be a bigwig in Toronto, and make lots of money. And because money did motivate me a lot growing up. And then I went to college, took business administration. I went to university in Sydney, Australia. I took international management, so I got my bachelor's of business administration. And then while I was away in Australia as well too, I even got my mutual funds license. And I came back to the bank because the bank gave me a year leave of absence, and I came back with all this education. I thought to myself, I think they're gonna make me the CEO. I really do. A little arrogant 20-year-old at the time. But
how old are you?
Well, I was in my early 20s.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember coming back, and the manager came back, and he said, Brian, good for you. You got all this education. You know what? We'll give you your old job back.
Wow.
And I was like, I said some nice 4-letter adjectives at the time, and I was like, okay. But I think it was at that moment in time where I said, you know what? If I really, really want to do something, it's going to be up to me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be up to me in order to make something work. If I really want to have something different for my life, that was probably one of those decisions where I ended up making. It's like, okay, like I can't rely on somebody else to make it happen for me. I'm going to have to make it happen for myself.
Okay. So what was that? I guess what was the next step after that when you're like, okay, it's got to be, it's up to me. Like, what did you do after that?
So after that, I just sort of wanted to see what I was into, and I did like the bank, and I did like mortgages. I loved finding money for people. I loved learning about money, and I thought, you know what, like, so I'll get into mortgages, right? And then I also really, really loved investment property at the time. So I figured, what better way to learn how to build an investment portfolio than to be at a bank and follow the money?
Yeah.
You know, so if I can learn how they'll give me some of it, I can see what I can do with it, right? So I remember getting a book back in the day that really changed my life, and that was Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrants.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny when things sort of come into your purview, right? So I ended up reading that book. It didn't really make sense the first time I read it, but then the second time I read it, you know, he explains about having your passive income exceed your employment income. So then it put me on a race to buy enough rental property in order to have passive income exceed my employment income.
Yeah.
So then I started on a race to try to like exit myself.
Yeah. When did you start that journey? Like in terms of like investing in real estate?
Yeah, so I ended up starting that. I bought my very first house it's funny too, I bought my very first house in 2002.
2002? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a long time ago, right?
The prices must have been good back then, yeah?
Very good, you know. It's funny though too, because you know, I'm in my 40s now, but looking at like, there's always news in the marketplace that's kind of self-fulfilling to not take action, right?
Okay.
And I remember in 2002, you know, we didn't have social media, didn't have the Facebook, Instagram, and everything like that. And I remember the headline. Do you know, anybody want to guess what the headlines were in 2002 when it comes down to buying real estate?
High interest rates, no?
Worst year to buy real estate.
Worst
Crash, inevitable. You know what just happened?
Right, the .com.
Well, no, September 11th, 2001.
Oh, right,
just
yeah,
happened.
that's right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have complete uncertainty in the world, right? You have everybody saying that everything is going to go to shit. Sorry, pardon. It's going to go bad. And it's just funny how these types of things will come up over and over and over again. They're patterns, they're cyclical, right? So, not, you know, that, but I just mean the bad news. So I just like, you could look at almost any moment in time and find a reason not to take action, right? And I think that is, you know, for the entrepreneurs out there and for your listeners and for your audience, right? Like, you'll always find what you're looking for. And I think buying that house in 2002 was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. That house that I bought was my Mission 35 house. Mission 35 mortgages, for those that don't know, it was a mission ever since I was a kid to be financially secure by the time I was 35. And what that meant to me was having no mortgage on my house. So that very first house that I bought, I was able to sell when I was 34, and it was enough to pay off the balance on the house that I live in.
Mortgage free.
Mortgage free, right? But not debt free. Right? Because again, it's I believe that, you know, especially for entrepreneurs and people like that, there's good debt and bad debt. Good debt's tax deductible, bad debt's the trip to Vegas that wasn't for business.
Well, I mean, so yeah, maybe you can expand on that. Like, you know, obviously for startups, there's people that want to raise capital, and then there's people that can through crowdfunding or through equity partners or through banks, right? Commercial banks. So obviously, what you are doing is a business in itself. Investing in real estate is a business. Like, did you like what would you say in terms of should somebody go bootstrap it or it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think you know, we do lots of work with Mohawk College, and they have a Mo Money program where we talk to kids about financial security and things like that. And I think one of the things I'm most passionate about is, like, I love the entrepreneurs that are, you know, when you say follow your passion, follow your dream, and all that stuff. And, you know, the old saying, how they end up saying, you know, most people die in their 20s, but they don't get put in the ground until their 40s. You ever heard that sort of saying before? Well, it's because like you stop dreaming. You know what I mean? When you're 20, 25, 26, 27, you give up on your dreams, you give up on your hopes, you get married, you have kids, and not to say there's anything wrong with that. It's amazing. I love it, right? But sometimes those obligations don't allow you to follow your passion anymore because you got debts to pay and you have life to live.
Right.
So what I really like to talk to people about is like, you know, when you get into real estate, I think real estate, you don't have to be a professional real estate investor. I know there's adversity today with higher rates and economic conditions, but there are resources available to buy a house. And we're big advocates at our brokerage to teach people to buy one more house. Because if you have another passive investment, I call it a safety net.
Right.
You know, it's like a chip you can cash in, right? Because like if I'm in my 30s, I used to joke and I used to have this thing called an FIA number when I was younger.
What's FIA? Yeah.
Well, affectionately we'll call it the forget it all number.
Oh, okay.
The F it all number. Okay. And the reason why, one of the reasons to buy a house is because I think when you have a little bit of financial security, which I think is different from financial freedom. You know,
Right.
Financial freedom is the Kardashians in the G-Wagon and the money gun, you know? That different level. But financial security to me, and by having real estate, it meant that if I'm not happy in my job, if I'm not happy in the business, if I'm not happy with the boss, I can leave. And I can have enough of a security net in order to try the new business. Just really go for it, right? Because I think it's nice to follow your passion, but not necessarily realistic for everybody in every stage of life.
Right, yeah.
You know, like we heard before, the deed to the house, that is an enormous amount of pressure that you could be put under if somebody ends up saying, you might lose your house.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's cut out for that. That would be very, very difficult to rise above.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So I guess it really depends on your level of risk and also what stage you are in life, right? I mean, if you have a family, you have kids, you know, it's there's more at risk there, right? Myself, I have a wife and 2 kids, and definitely there's always a risk that I'm taking, and I'm putting their lives at risk at the same time. So at the same time, like what you said, having that security, and at the same time, you combine that with faith as well, right? You gotta have, I guess, the balance of both, where you have something that you can count on, and then you have your faith that could push you through with those times of uncertainty, right? And so, I mean, in your career, maybe you can share, I know, what you can share, what were some of those uncertain times, or maybe you can pinpoint one time where it looked uncertain, because especially in an entrepreneurial journey, there's a lot of uncertainty sometimes, and sometimes you're the only one that believes in it, and nobody else does, right? So it's or it's not that they don't believe in it, but it's hard to see from your perspective, because it's just you're so driven, driven by it, but maybe some of your colleagues or whatever don't even see it yet, right?
Yeah, I think I remember 2 distinct times. I know Patrick earlier was talking about a clothing company. I was a little envious that he actually had sales, because my first company was a clothing company too, actually, and made me think about it. And when I went to Australia, and this is just in adversity, and I think all those things shape you for growth, because I had 2 really big standout moments that really sucked, right? But I think, they say embrace the suck, because those are the characteristics that help you succeed later. But when I ended up traveling to Australia, going to university there, I spent 2 months in Southeast Asia. And I traveled around, and I was in Thailand, and I found these things that were called Thai farmer pants. You ever seen these things? There were these pants back in the day. Do you remember hospital pants? Anybody remember hospital pants back in the day? There was a company called Mod Rose, which was really popular. So I found these Thai pants, I call them. They had a 52-inch waist, and they had a drawstring. You do it up around the back. I was like, these things are the coolest. Yeah, not everybody thought so. Okay? I ended up wearing them all around university, came back. I had $7,000 in my RSP at the time. And I thought I was brilliant, because I said to my dad, Dad, I'm gonna take out all my RSPs, and I could do it tax-free because I didn't make any money this year, and I'm buying pants. My dad's like, what are you talking about? So I buy these pants, and we started selling them at campus stores, beach stores, things like that. And I'm thinking, this is gonna be amazing. And our tagline was, more baggage for your junk.
Oh my God.
They're very, very big, right? Now, the problem, lo and behold, I'm not a clothing designer, is I started getting these phone calls, and one of the phone calls was, Brian, pants are great, but they ripped in the crotch.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh man, maybe that's just a one-off. Nope, another phone call. They ripped, so there was a design malfunction where from front to back, if you stretched your legs too far, they all ripped in the crotch.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not great. So lo and behold, that was the big deal. And the sad thing was, I sold them to my dentist office at the time too. So all the dental assistants would wear them, and I had to change dentists. I was so embarrassed to go back there. I couldn't even go back and get my teeth cleaned there, so I had to get a new dentist.
That was in Sydney, or that was? Or
No, that was in Hamilton.
That was in Hamilton.
I'm very sorry, Dr. Pinot's office, God. I really got some money. So, but it was, you know what? The learning curve on that for me didn't, it taught me about resilience and adversity, and cashing in the chips. I still lived at home. But the funny part is, I'll tell you about that story. It's probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm watching Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Treliving is on there, the Boston pizza guy, and this girl comes up with goddamn tie pants.
Oh no.
And says, and called them Siams, and said, these are the pants. And I was like, spit out my coffee, and I'm yelling at my wife, I'm like, look, those are the tie pants.
Oh,
and you know what? Jim Treliving invested in them.
Wow.
I was like, they probably didn't rip in the crotch like mine, but that's beside the point. I think the idea is, and that just sort of showed me, if you have an idea and you're passionate about it, keep going with it.
Right.
Where I made my mistake there is I gave up. Right, I gave up and I pivoted, right? Thank God I did, because I was able to get into mortgages and whatnot. But I think, I always look at that as a funny experience. I always look at it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tragedy. It was a great time in my life to learn.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the second time that I had massive adversity was when I launched Mission 35 Mortgages. And it was by far the worst year of my life and the best year. And it was in 2016. So I had worked for another mortgage brokerage for 5 years, and I had this idea for Mission 35, right? So, and it was all about, I want to teach people about financial security. Mission 35, just for the backstory, the idea came from, my dad was my biggest fan. He taught me about money growing up. He, raised me and my brother on an annual income of 60 grand a year. Right? My mom didn't work, very simple upbringing. It was nice. We didn't want for anything except maybe to go for dinner once in a while. He said no, okay, but we had a great life. And he always said, spend less than what you make. He said if you're broke making 30 grand a year, you'll be broke making 300 grand a year, so make sure you know how to budget your money. And he was also my biggest fan. So fast forwarding, when I turned 35 and I had enough money and I paid off my house, my dad had passed away 2 years prior. He passed away from acute myeloid leukemia, so he never got to see me achieve my goal.
Oh yeah.
So I always wanted to launch Mission 35 and honor him. He was crazy. He used to like doing people's taxes for fun. Like, who does that? He used to get excited about spousal RSPs. Like, he would do it for the neighbors with a ledger paper and a pencil and be like, oh, if you put 10,000 in Betty's name, you'll be able to write that off. Like, he was just that type of person.
Yeah.
So anyways, when I launched Mission 35 Mortgages, I was with another company. I had built up a team of people, and I had this idea, and I pitched it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I pitched it, and then all my entire team that I had worked with, they were friends. They were just like, I think it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I don't want to come work with you. I think it's kind of a stupid idea. If anybody's seen Jerry Maguire, my wife jokes and said that was your Jerry Maguire moment. I was like, who's coming with me? Nobody. Nobody. So, and in that year too, my mom got really sick that year, and she passed away. She passed away in June.
So you lost
Both parents.
Both parents in a span of a couple of years.
Yep. And then so June of 2016, my mom passed away. And then in August of 2016, my daughter was born. So it was like going to the hospital with my mom, she passed, and then my daughter was born in 2016. And then, so those of you who've had kids and newborns, you don't get any bloody sleep. You don't know if you're wearing pants or not, in those first like month or two of having a kid. Yeah, it turns out it could have been great maternity wear, but anyway, I should have pivoted better there. And then so my daughter was born in August, but I was so excited, still so motivated, and I did my pitch in November of 2016, lost my mom, both parents are gone, just had baby. In November 2016, I had bought a second location to open up, invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to open it up in Hamilton here. I was gonna have 2 offices. My sales team of almost 20 people, 3 of them stayed. Wow. And one of them was my brother. So he didn't have much of a choice. And I remember at that moment in time, just being so low and thinking, can I just tell everybody I'm joking? Can I take it all back? Right? And I remember thinking to myself, like, the motivation at that time was like, yeah, it was my passion. Yeah, it was my dream. But I was like, oh man, like, I didn't sign up to get punched in the gut.
Yeah.
To have all these people leave, because you don't hear that and feel that, and then all that time. So, and I remember thinking to myself, I want to be able to look my daughter in the eye and say, if you never quit, you'll never lose.
That's it, bro.
And I remember that's what motivated me. And I remember the toughest thing to do, but the best thing I did was plan a goddamn Christmas party. So the last thing I wanted to do is launch a new business and have to say, woo, hey, everybody, look what we did. I'm so excited that, that everybody left and I launched this new business and so, yay, right?
Yeah.
But I did.
Right.
And it was awesome.
That's awesome.
And then that one, and I think, for entrepreneurs and for people out there, I think it's important to know that for me, what gets me through tough times sometimes is just do the next thing. Because by doing that, it led me to the next thing.
How soon was that from when you had that moment and you're like, how far away was that Christmas party?
So I did my launch in November of 2016. I felt a little sorry for myself when everybody left for about 3 weeks. And then I booked that Christmas party on December 23rd of 2016 because it was the only time left I could find a location.
Oh, wow.
So I had to put it together in about 3 weeks and everybody showed up for it. Everybody supported me and it's just like that next thing, it kept going and going. And now, Mission 35, we have 60 mortgage agents, we have strategic partnerships with RE/MAX and tax locations across Southern Ontario. And we're one of the top brokerages in Canada. We have almost 750 5-star reviews and we're continually recruiting people all the time and we're helping people. But that was, oh man, it was a long road. That was 7 years, we're 7 years later now.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, I guess what I got from that, you almost made me like tear up a little when you talked about your daughter, because I have 2 daughters and how old's your daughter now? Like obviously
She's turned 7.
7, okay, yeah. So mine's, my youngest is turning 6, right?
Yeah.
6, yeah.
Best age.
And then our other one's turning 13, so different stages. And I guess I mean, that's right in front of you every day, right? So I guess maybe, having something that is gonna motivate you that deep to where you want to do it so bad that it could bring you to tears, and also having that moment where it's like, I gotta do it, that's it, period, like there's no turning back, right? And I think that could be whatever that is for anyone here listening. It's like, you gotta find that burning desire, that why, that very strong why, that's gonna make you go through that what looks like failure. Yeah. Right? It looks like failure. It looks like, wow, like you said your whole team left you and everything, and it's like, and you still push through, right? And so that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. So
yeah, My pleasure. Well, I think most people will move, like, you know, there's two major motivators. Like, people either move towards pleasure and move away from pain, but I think like moving away from pain is a far bigger motivator. I know it was for me than moving towards pleasure, right? So sometimes it's, you know, they say get leverage on yourself, right? So you find out what your leverage is and what that fulcrum is that'll end up getting you moving. So find it, harness it. And I know for me, it was pain then, you know, and then it was also the pain of failure. I didn't want to be a failure. I didn't want to do that. That motivated me. But then also, you know, I wanted to, you know, be a great dad and role model for my daughter. You know, and then I think that motivation changes over years as well too.
Yeah, every point of your life, you'll have different levels of motivation and whys, right? And some will stay there, I guess, you know, for the test of time, like till you pass away, right? And then it will obviously continue to evolve, right? So I guess for now, what's your main mission right now? Like, what's your main motivator right now?
Yeah, like, so we really want to build like we want to build a national financial company because we're aligned with, we have a mortgage investment company which raises capital in order to lend out for mortgages. So we have a private lending arm. We have our strategic partnerships with a tax company, and then our Mission 35 has really turned into a training ground for mortgage agents, right? So what we're really building is just a financial distribution network, and we want to give like that $1 million advice to the normal everyday person. Right? So, you know, a lot of time, like the knowledge that I've learned as you grow and you acquire more wealth, you can afford a better CPA. You can afford better tax advice. You get to talk to people like Patrick and Murray who tell you shit that you never knew before, right? But when you're starting out, you don't get to talk to those people, right? So for me, my mission is to give the more and more knowledge that we can acquire, be able to give that to Canadians that normally wouldn't be able to access it. And put it through distribution networks that are readily available, like, you know, a mortgage brokerage, a tax office, real estate office, so they're not having to pay, you know, the high-end wealth advisor advice to get the really good advice.
Is that available right now through Mission 35? Like in terms of like I know you have some content online and everything. What's available right now for people to have access to that?
Well, you know what we're building right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think what we're doing right now is that we've chosen the distribution network of mortgage agents, right? Because I'm a believer that, you know, the average Canadian has a majority of their wealth in their home. Right? Like homes have, you know, I know there's a lot of, you know, ups and downs and ebbs and flows, but the majority of Canadians have an obscene amount of wealth in their home, right? So to be able to advise people on their biggest investment, I think we can have a massive impact, right? So, so in order to me to talk to homeowners would take a long time to achieve my mission. Like our mission is to have 35,000 people become mortgage free by the year 2035.
Nice.
Just like really like 35s for some reason, they throw them in everything, right? So, but if we educate more mortgage agents and mortgage brokers to give awesome financial advice on buying a house, you don't have to end up being a real estate investor extraordinaire, but maybe buying one more property, then we can achieve our mission faster. So then what we're doing is I would say we're one of the top mortgage brokerages in Canada right now for training. Because in the mortgage broker industry right now, nobody wants to take on that fee. Nobody wants to train other mortgage brokers because in our industry, you have an opportunity to make a lot of money.
Right.
And if you train someone, as the saying goes, it takes twice as long to teach someone as it does to do yourself. Right? So most people have chosen not to go that avenue, and me, I see adversity now, I'm like, yeah, that's probably the way to go. No one else is doing that. That's really hard to do. I want to do it. So now what we're doing is training mortgage agents in order to give phenomenal mortgage advice on people's biggest investment, which is their house.
That's huge, man. I mean, I think that's what it takes, really. Like for anybody that's wants to build a big enterprise or a big business, is to take a different level of responsibility. I think that's what people are afraid of, is they don't want that responsibility to serve the masses or, you know, serve as many people as possible. Of course, you know, you have to take care of your family. You know, you got to take care of, you know, what's at home, pay your bills and all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, I think that will be a byproduct of you serving so many people, right? And I think you see that, and everybody here sees that the more you serve, the naturally it's not what you're giving to give, right? You're not giving to get, but naturally you're gonna get, right? And I think that's if you look at Walmart, biggest retailer, yeah, there's a lot of controversy about Walmart. But the reason why the 3 kids of Sam Walton are on the top 20 Forbes list is because they serve so many people. I mean, my family shops at Walmart every week, so they give good. And they employ a lot of people as well, right? So, and yeah, what are your thoughts about taking about responsibility in terms of with personal responsibility and then scaling that to a bigger scale?
I like it. It's funny because I tell our team all the time that majority of people will do more for others than you will for yourself. Right? It's kind of like if you have a gym buddy. If I got to wake up and meet Jordan at the gym, I'll be there. But if I don't, well,
All right, let's
I'll
go.
really let myself down. So, and I think as I've grown and I see, when I talked earlier about leverage, leverage is also responsibility. And I find that the more some people thrive in responsibility, some people may buckle in it. I find that, if you really want to be an entrepreneur and you want to grow a big scalable business, I think you need to be able to thrive on having more responsibility. Like for me, the less that I'm responsible for, the lazier I'll be. The more responsible that I am, the more I'll do. Right? So I think having, a tremendous amount of responsibility is good. And then I think that grows as you scale a large business, having social responsibility. Right? So you grow that even more. So that means you're accountable to more people. And that means that you have to do better all the time, right? And if you're forced to do better, and if you rise to that occasion, to me, that's a cool challenge. That's something that I like. I'm not a sports guy. Like my wife always makes fun of me. Like I never watch sports or anything like that. But this is my sport. Like business is my sport. That's what I like to play, and that's what I like to do. So I think having tremendous responsibility for an entrepreneur or anybody who wants to be one is something that you have to feel really, really comfortable in.
And another thing is if something goes wrong, we have to be accountable, right? And be willing to look like a fool in front of everyone. I think that's what people are afraid of too. Is they fear, failing in front of everyone. Being a big failure matter. They care so much about being a failure in front of thousands of people or millions of people, right? There's just so many. I think that's a big weight, and also it impacts their family as well too. If they're looked at as a public figure, influencing a lot of people, responsible for a lot of people, they don't want their family to be harmed. But at the same time, I think that has to be properly managed. So how do you manage that thought in your head in terms of okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna still go after this, and at the same time I know that this can all come down, eventually. But at the same time, I also have complete faith that it's gonna, yeah.
I think, yeah, it's a good question. I think I don't have that big a following on Instagram, so I'm not too worried about it right now. But the reality is, I think, is that because when I said about that financial security, that's what thrives me because my wants are actually very little, right? Would I like to fly in a private plane one time? Sure. That'd be cool. Would I like to do all those things? Yeah, but I don't need it. And that's not what motivates me, right? So what motivates me is the fact that, I always think to myself, my fail-safe is always, if everything goes to shit, I can take care of my family because I bought some real estate. So if everything goes wrong, I can go get a job at Home Depot. Oh, maybe, no disrespect. Maybe they wouldn't hire me, I don't know. But I could go get a job somewhere and pay the bills.
Right.
So I might as well go for it no matter what happens and ride this ride because I know that whatever happens, I'll still be able to take care of my family. I have that security that I always think about, that unequivocally. I know I'll always be able to take care of it. So that's why I would say I would keep moving forward with that. And whatever happens, it's learning.
Yeah.
All this stuff is learning. I had a mentor tell me once, he goes, you should wish for new problems every year. Like the goal is not to not have any problems. The goal is to have different problems. If you got the same problems this year that you had last year, that's a problem.
You don't want that problem.
No, like the goal, if you don't have any problems, you're not doing anything. Right? You always need, like Patrick said earlier, like enjoying the struggle, embracing the suck, like that's okay. Like on the other side of all the suck and all the struggle is, you know, courage, there's euphoria, there's joy, there's all that stuff, right? Like it's very hard to have the joy without the suck.
Right, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense. Well, yeah, maybe, I don't know if you want to share, like, you know, just maybe, I know, you already shared a lot, like, I mean, that's huge, like, I mean, in terms of, like, problems, people look at them and say, oh man, another problem, or all this, but, like you said, if it sounds like everything is smooth sailing, then that's a problem, right? Like, there has, the sign of growth is, you know, going through challenges, right? And it's just like building muscle, like, you know, Patrick in the gym, right? And then, you know, just you're gonna, if you don't feel any resistance, then you're not growing that muscle, right?
I had a great quote from Mario Andretti. Anybody who's a race car fan? I love that guy. Like I'm a adrenaline junkie. I did like NASCAR racing for my 40th birthday. Jumped out of an airplane. I'm getting my pilot's license right now. My wife thinks I'm nuts, right? But anyways, his quote is, he goes, "If everything feels like it's under control, you're not going fast enough."
That's good.
Spoken by a true race car driver, right? So.
That's really, I like it, man. Well, any final tips you want to give to like some aspiring entrepreneurs who, you know, want to build you know, want to serve a lot of people and have a vision to impact the world with their business?
Yeah. And you know, this came to me the other day, I was watching something. It's just be resilient with what you like and what you want to do. And this hit home for me is because, you know, I sit here and I watch people like Patrick and be like, man, that's really cool. I should do that. That's really good. All right. Listen to Murray, who you guys can talk to, be like, man, that's really cool. Like, that's way cooler than what I'm doing. And I think sometimes as an entrepreneur and you surround yourself with such fascinating people, you can almost start to think that your idea is not that good. Or, you know, whether they call it imposter syndrome or something else, you can start to think like, you know, and I've seen it with real estate investment. I bought single family homes and duplexes and triplexes, and I'll sit, you know, go to a conference and see someone who's buying 20-unit buildings and doing developments and be like, man, that's way cooler than what I'm doing. I should learn that. But just be resilient and be happy and stay steadfast in your lane. Because if you continue to pivot every 5 seconds when the new cool thing comes around that's sexy, you ain't gonna do shit. So, and for me, I have to constantly remind myself of that. Just be like, yeah, that is cool. But so is what you're doing. It's work for you, get better at it. Because every time I make a mistake, it's funny, every time I make a mistake, I'm way better at it now. If I made a mistake and quit, I lost the opportunity, right? If I make a mistake and stay at it, you know, interest rates, they've been really bad lately, I've heard, right? Like interest rates in the market have been terrible, right? And I would probably be, you know, like many other mortgage brokers, have been guilty of giving advice that I thought was really good based on the information that I had, but maybe it wasn't the best advice. Guess what? If I left mortgage brokering now, knowing what I know now, I'd be doing a disservice for my future, because now the next time cyclical things happen, I'm gonna have tremendous advice to give because of the adversity that I've gone through in it now. So stick with it. And who gives a shit what everybody else is saying? Sorry, who cares what everybody else is saying? Yeah. Stick with it if you like it. And it's probably gonna take longer than you think.
That's really good advice. Well, wow, there's so much gold here that I could, you know, piece out. So I hope you guys are taking notes for whoever's watching this, or some mental notes, or rewatch this. You know, because there's so much gold that he shared here. So Brian, it was a pleasure. You know, loved having you on here and coming out. I really appreciate you, local from Hamilton, and you know, yeah, just thank you so much, and I look forward to chatting with you more.
Thanks, Shane. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
A round of applause. I just want to see for time here. Okay. All right. You guys have been sitting on your butts for a little bit. I don't know if you guys have used the washroom at all or anything. I will allow you guys, just a quick 5 minutes, and then come back, and we'll reconvene and then close out the. Well, not close out the evening yet. We still have one phenomenal speaker as well, who's going to come on stage, and then also we're going to be sharing. Dare to Be, the founder of Dare to Be Youth, Shannon Tobin, is going to come up on stage as well, just to share, the mission and the why behind her foundation, and some more, a little bit of magic as well. So, thank you guys. 5 minutes, and then we'll come back.